This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Another weekend of gun violence ends with 6 people killed. There were 4 separate shootings in Portland and another at a house party in Vancouver. We'll have the latest from police in both cities coming up here in just a minute.
And it's a new push to help first responders get to calls faster and with the proper resources. More on the new proposal from Clark County.
And we are live at Poshines this morning. It is a Black-owned soul food restaurant in Northeast Portland with a Cajun, Creole, and Low Country flair. Not only do they make great food, but they also champion an awesome culinary program called Teach Me to Fish. Our Bryant Kirkley is live out there this morning to explain what it's all about. That's coming up here in about 15 minutes.
It is a Monday morning here on the Sunrise Show. Rodney Hill starting a full week of well-deserved vacation. So we have Chris McGinnis hanging with us on this Monday. What do you have for us weather-wise?
Did you like the weekend?
Yes.
Good. We're going to do it again.
Okay.
The weekend, it'd be nice to relive the weekend. As we all go to work today, the weather will be the same. Let's go ahead and give you the live look outside from our Stoller Vineyard camera. Of course, well, it's still dark, right? We're 30 minutes or so away from sunrise, but that's a pretty shot from Dayton. You can see the low clouds from the marine layer here that have kind of banked up against the Cascades. Those clouds will burn off earlier today than they did over the weekend. It's 56 at PDX. It's 50 in Hillsboro. Astoria waking up to 59 degrees. And the plan for today, enjoy it. Morning clouds, brief morning clouds, afternoon sunshine. Guys, I've got us topping out in the low 80s. We do warm up from here as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. More on that in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you for that, Chris. Right now, we do want to get to our top story this morning. It's a developing story out of Indiana where 3 people were killed and 2 others were injured after a man with a rifle opened fire in a shopping mall food court. The shooting happened right around 6 o'clock last night in Greenwood, Indiana, which is about 15 miles south of Indianapolis. Police say a 22-year-old who was in the food court at the time and legally carrying a gun shot and killed the gunman almost as soon as this attack began. Police say a 12-year-old girl was one of the 2 people injured in the shooting. She was treated and released while the other person who was injured remains hospitalized. The Today Show will have the latest for us coming up later this morning.
In Vancouver, a shooting at a house party killed 2 people early yesterday morning. This happened near East 11th and Nob Hill Drive. The gunfire hit 4 people. 1 died at the house, another at the hospital, and 2 others are in serious condition. Witnesses told KGW it was a college going away party and about 50 people were there. Police haven't released the names or ages of those involved, but say that the victims range in age from 17 to 20. So far, no word on any arrests. Anyone with information is asked to call the Vancouver Police Department.
Meanwhile, it was a violent weekend in Portland. 4 people were killed and at least 1 person was hurt in 4 separate shootings across the city. The first happened Friday off of Southeast 124th and Powell, with the latest just yesterday morning on Southeast Belmont and 26.
Portland police tell us they found a man dead and a woman who'd also been shot. She later died at the hospital. We talked to people living nearby who say the crime has them on edge.
It's really scary kind of seeing it creep up, like especially from downtown and now that it's here on Belmont. But yeah, I kind of really don't know how to think because it's been really like a very quiet, peaceful neighborhood.
Anyone with information about any of these recent shootings in Portland is asked to call police.
Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler released a report Saturday detailing the rise in shootings across the city between 2019 and 21. And the report is by the California Partnership for Safe Communities. It found Portland went from 36 homicides in 2019 to 57 the next year and 88 last year. They looked at both deadly and non-deadly shootings and found a 144% increase in homicides and a 241% increase in non-deadly shootings. There's a lot to the report. We have a breakdown of some of their key findings at KGW.com.
Here's a look at some other local headlines this morning. Portland police are still looking for a driver involved in a hit-and-run crash that killed a person who was out walking 2 dogs in the Lentz neighborhood of Southeast Portland. This happened early Saturday morning along Southeast Holgate at 100th Avenue. Both dogs were also killed. Police say the crash involved 2 cars and one of the drivers ran from the scene. So anyone who may have seen what happened or anyone who has security video is asked to contact Portland Police. Nurses at Providence St. Vincent have reached a new deal with the hospital. The Oregon Nurses Association says 1,600 nurses ratified this contract. The union also says the deal addresses concerns including staff burnout and calls for increased pay of up to 16.5%. Nurses at Providence Milwaukee will vote on their contract later this week. And an uptick in COVID cases is causing health leaders in the Seattle area to consider bringing back a mask mandate. Right now, case counts in King County are higher than they were during the peak of last year's Delta wave. And officials say that's probably an undercount because so many people use at-home tests and don't report those results to the government. According to the CDC, 14 counties in Washington are considered at high risk right now for COVID. None of those counties, though, are in Southwest Washington. And that's a look at some of this morning's local headlines.
This weekend, a new suicide prevention hotline rolled out nationwide with a really easy to remember number. It's just 988. You can call or text, but counselors also want you to remember there are local crisis lines available. Tim Gordon explains how Clackamas County is trying to help.
So these are our mental health suicide prevention bracelets that we help design.
The bracelets with messages and a crisis line phone number. Jared Hinshaw with Clackamas County's Children, Family and Community Connections Division helped create them.
And for the purpose of bringing awareness to the crisis and support line in a stylish way that people want to wear, and so they have access to that number and letting them know that they're not alone.
The bracelets ask, "Are you okay?" and say, "You are not alone." And unlike past bracelets, also come in Spanish. Co-designer Olga Salinas pushed for that to reach the Hispanic community.
Not only for themselves, but for their children, for their friends' children. It was important to me to get this information in their hands.
Along with the messages, an important number for those in crisis or who know of someone in crisis.
We wanted to give people a resource at their fingertips. So the crisis line phone number is on the inside.
Those who call 503-655-8585 will be connected to people who can help at the Clackamas County Mental Health Center.
And this is staffed 24/7, so we have folks who answer that line and are able to help folks navigate whatever it is that they're going through.
Crisis Prevention Supervisor Jeffrey Anderson says call takers are highly trained and will help people get to the resources they need in a kind and compassionate way. Connections Division Director Adam Freer says the crisis line is needed now more than ever.
The kinds of stress that we are enduring in our society now are unparalleled and unprecedented.
And a small investment in bracelets can save lives with a number to call close at hand.
Once someone picks up on the other line and there's a warm voice that is kind and caring, hopefully that opens up the door for that person.
Tim Gordon, KGW News.
Officials in the Clark-Cowlitz Fire District are pushing voters to approve a new levy that would hire more EMS personnel. The goal is to increase response times or decrease response times. Officials say from 2020 to 2021, calls have gone up 17%. They say that increase paired with current resources have led to a lag in response times and say right now there's only a full paramedic on board about half the time. The rest are EMTs.
When we have a critical call like that, we have to call one of our other units that may have a paramedic on that day to come over and assist. And at that point, we're now on scene waiting for an ambulance.
Chief Noor says the problem isn't just with the department. He says the private ambulance company for the area, AMR, is also dealing with long response times. We reached out to AMR, who told us they've complied with response times laid out in their contract, and they've hired more staff to respond to the rise in calls.
Well, as we mentioned right at the top of the hour, Chris McGinnis is filling in for Rod Hill this week. And Chris, you had a viewer send you a pretty cool video last week.
Yeah, this is pretty neat stuff from up near Mount St. Helens. Okay. Little time-lapse star photography here. Check this out. This is the Milky Way. It's just sort of pivoting over Mount St. Helens. This was late last week from viewer Joshua Ortiz. By the way, you can follow him on Instagram at Joshua Ortiz. I encourage you to follow all of these wonderful photographers that share their work with us here at KGW. You might find something you want to hang on your wall. That, of course, is a video, and that is glorious. Thank you for sharing that, Joshua. Let's get you out to the here and now. Here's the live look from our Wells Fargo sky camera. And as expected, the cloud cover, the marine deck, has pushed in just a little bit more. And now we are sort of obscuring the Cascade foothills and the mountains themselves from here in downtown Portland. The sky getting a little brighter above. Of course, we're still a good 25 minutes away from sunrise, but I expect the clouds to probably thicken up just a little bit more this morning before that happens. It's 56 at PDX. It's 48, though, in King City. Big picture across the state of Oregon this morning. Baker City waking up to 48, Pendleton 59, and we're generally in the 50s along the Oregon coast this morning. All right, the plan for today, satellite radar loop showing a little bit of cloud cover and some showers actually up in the North Washington Cascades. None of that has any impact on our weather. That system's actually pulling away. And with it, the cloud cover will be even less today than it was yesterday. So the clouds burn off sooner at the beach today. Pacific City tops out at about 71. Central Oregon, full sunshine for you with highs in the upper 80s. Tomorrow, by the way, will mark the start of probably a 4 or 5 day run in the 90s across Central Oregon. And again, that starts tomorrow. I think the East Gorge gets into the 90s today. The Dow's up around 91. The East Gorge will also be kind of breezy with west winds picking up 15 to 25. And up and down the I-5 corridor. Again, most of us in the low 80s. Average high for July 18th is 83. So we're in that ballpark today here in Portland. We will be warmer as we go into tomorrow. In fact, I've got us cracking the 90-degree mark on Tuesday. Sunny and hot on Tuesday. We may or may not get there Wednesday. And then, guys, we do cool it off a little bit for Thursday. I'll step out of the way here. You can see the rest of our 7-day forecast. We start to get a little toasty heading into the second half of next weekend. And guys, I will tell you this, models start to show possibly, again, this is a good 7 or 8 days out yet, some triple digit heat in our forecast Monday,
Triple
Tuesday,
digit?
maybe Wednesday. Yeah, okay, so we're getting out there a little bit, but just to let you know that the end of July is looking a little toasty.
There's summer, finally. All right, Chris, thank you. Hey, we're getting ready for the KGW School Supply Drive. It kicks off next month, but we need your help. Last year, we collected school supplies for more than 15,000 kids, and we want to help even more because each fall, over half of students start without the stuff that they need. So we want to thank Aspire Chiropractic for signing up to help. They're going to be a collection site for supplies. You can become a collection site as well. Go to kgw.com/school to sign up. We'll send you the whole kit so you can be ready for school season.